Do you sense any more confidence from that offense based on the way they played?
Yeah, we've always had confidence in practice, and again, it's just the overall discipline to execute your assignment. But I thought our players came out today and had very good energy, and again, it's just the overall execution, day in and day out, that consistency which we speak about. But I do see some confidence, but I've also seen it week in and week out in practice as well.
Butch, are you surprised that there's a report out there that names you as a potential candidate at Michigan?
No, it's not even worth discussing. There's no validity to it, and I'm not even going to waste your time or my time even commenting on that. I think y'all know how I feel.
With your offensive line, obviously y'all talked about, there are no moral victories here. If you lose a game, you lose a game. But for them to go out there and have some success against a defense like that, they need something like that just to feel like all this works, making them better in some ways.
Well, you do need success, and we always talk about playing with confidence, but quite simply, how do you gain confidence? By having success. And so they did experience some success, and they've worked exceptionally hard. We're going to be challenged again at South Carolina. A very big physical defensive front, a very active linebacking core, could match up, play man-to-man in the back end. So we're going to be challenged again. But yes, I think a byproduct of having confidence is also having success.
Butch, what does Justin look like yesterday and today? And I know one thing you were really looking to gauge was just the velocity on the ball. Just what does that look like?
He's still work in progress. Threw the ball a little bit today, but not the velocity that he's going to need yet. But again, he took all mental reps, didn't miss any reps in terms of overall, but it's just the velocity. And right now we still have the end of the week, but if we had to play the game today, he wouldn't be able to play.
Are you seeing Josh respond? You see a different swagger out of him?
Business as usual. It's Josh, very humble, very workman-like approach. So about the same.
Do you want to see him have a little more swagger, carry himself differently after he played, or is that how you want him kind of business as usual?
I want him to be Josh Dobbs. I don't want him to be anybody that he's not. He does have some swagger. He does have his own confidence in the way he presents himself. So for me to stand here and tell you he doesn't, I mean, he's Josh Dobbs, and our players respect him for that because he has great confidence and he displays it. He just displays it in other ways as well.
What about from a physical standpoint, Coach? You said you needed to see more consistency from him. How has he responded on the practice field the last 2 days?
I asked every player what their goal was for practice today, and his was, to be able to execute the routine plays. And so he's cognizant of that. He's working on it. And, that'll be proven over a course of time. Again, consistency just isn't one practice. It's putting a number of them together. But he knows it, and he's working hard on it, and he's a very determined young man. And I know he'll work exceptionally hard at that and improve on that.
Did he show a little more consistency?
He did.
You think that's from the game action? And just...
It's probably a byproduct of playing, developing some confidence. So I do. I think that's probably all part of it.
But you could tell a couple weeks ago that the offensive line, just when we were talking to those guys, that they did not have much confidence at all. What did the play versus Alabama do for that level? Have you been able to see externally a change in them?
I do. Again, you have to have success to have some confidence. And they've meticulously been improving. Some days better than others. Are they where we expect them to be? Absolutely not. I think they'd be the first to tell you. But they're grinding through it. We are seeing improvement. Like I said at the press conference, we're work in progress. But I do see a little bit different temperament. I do see some confidence.
Care to elaborate on what combinations you might have worked with today?
Anything and everything. Again, just trying to find the top five. Coleman Toppin's practiced a little bit, but he's now has the flu bug that's hit our freshman class last week, so it didn't have anything to do with the other injury. So he was able to practice a little bit. Marcus Jackson went through the entire practice, which was great to see. Jacob Gilliam continues to get better. So again, it's just trying to put, we can go about 7 deep now. So again, we ask a lot of individuals to play different positions. So we're rotating them in, making sure that they know the game plan, whether it's playing guard, then bumping out the tackle.
Matt Dar's strung together some pretty good games, it looks like. When you look at his stats or just punting stats in general, which ones are important to you?
Consistency in net punting is everything. When we punt the football, and that can be skewed a little bit, are you pooch kicking it? But just a high level of consistency, having the 4.0 hang time. His kick placement is critical to our kick coverage, and then op time. Our goal is about a 1.98, 1.97 in overall operation time. And you look at it, you have about 6.5 seconds, 6.7 seconds, sometimes maybe 6.3 seconds. To be able to, you have to cover, run down, force a fair catch, or cover a kick. And we talk about op time all the time, but just ball placement, kick location, which I'm speaking about, and then just overall hang time is very, very critical.
Are you pleased the way he's kind of rebounded from a slow start?
Yeah, he has, and he's worked exceptionally hard on it. He does take great pride in his performance, but it's just that consistency, that consistent word we talk about. But he has been kicking, very well for us. And again, it gets back to now having some success. He now has great confidence as well.
Coach Jack's just gradually been getting more productive. Do you think his play is just kind of a general reflection of a young kid with talent coming in and getting an appreciation for the details and the small things he's got to do?
Josh Malone, yes. He has continuously gotten better week in and week out, and that's a byproduct of his work ethic, hanging on everything that Coach Z tells him, and he's a very prideful young man. Takes great pride in his performance, very, very smart, and he writes down all the things he needs to work on. The biggest change in him is probably his practice habits, understanding what it takes to have great practices, and that's all now you're seeing it on the field come game day as well. I know he's excited to get his first touchdown, and we expect many more of those to come in his career.
Which do you think Malone is maybe further along at this point of his freshman year than maybe Marquez was last year?
It's really unfair to compare. Both of those two individuals bring a different dynamic. They're both different, but they're also very similar in terms of their competitive character, their makeup, their workmanlike approach, their love for the game. So they have those similarities, but they also have some differences.
The receivers seem to have maybe their most physical game on Saturday against Alabama. Some big blocks, getting after it in that aspect of the game, making plays. What more would you like to see for them moving forward to help out whichever quarterback may start Saturday?
Well, I thought they played an unselfish game, and I think the individual who really, really was a great illustration of that was Jason Kroom. I know he didn't have any catches, he didn't have any statistics, but he had a lot of statistics when it comes to helping us perform. He blocked exceptionally well. He opened up some routes for others to have catches, and I thought he played one of his better games that he played. You don't see it on the stat sheet, but was very, very proud of him, and we're going to need that effort moving forward. But just, again, being able to make plays, and when the ball's in the air, go make a play, catch in advance. We're going to need that as we continue to move forward.
Coach, getting back to Justin a little bit, if he doesn't play this week, is his injury such that the bye week can make a difference for him? Basically, could that,
It could. We'll reassess everything and see where he's at, what's the status of his shoulder. So we'll put a lot of that into the bye week. But with him, it's day by day, and kind of see now, day by day, how does that equal out to overtime and how it progresses.
I guess, is there any, you used the term final decision on Sunday. Is there any need to make that, or is he just going to get to rehab the rest of the way through it? If he gets back, he gets back.
It's exactly right. It's how his body handles the rehabilitation. And does his body continue to improve, which it has shown a little bit, slowly, but it has shown, or, does it not? Then you're talking about, surgery and other things like that. But we're trying to get him ready for this game. And there is a chance that he could be, but you never know. It's still early on in the week, so we'll see. But if he's ready to play, he's going to play, and we'll see how that goes.
What's Cory done for this program based on how he's kind of seen him this year?
takes great pride in his performance. He's as hard a worker as we have in the football program. Great illustration to our younger players about the rest and recovery that's needed, from the stretching to the hydration to doing the extra things. They used to make fun of him last year. He was kind of a different breed in terms of that. Now it's become the norm in our football program. And you know what you're getting with Cory Vereen. Very intelligent. We're really challenging him on his overall pad level and staying low coming off the football. And he takes coaching. He hangs on every word that you tell him.
You mentioned the intelligence. How important is that for his game and just for him in general?
Well, very important. It's, having your A move, your counter off your A move, understanding splits of tackles, understanding all those things that you look for from video study and trying to gain a competitive advantage, but also the self-scout of yourself, from your stance, your start, your get off, your hand placement. The difference, a 6-inch hand punch in defending the run from here to here is critical in winning and losing your one-on-one matchup for that play. And he takes that to heart. He dissects every play. He internalizes every play that he's in. Good.
All right, thanks, guys.